Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Tuesday, August 11th, 2009. This morning I'd like to take a look at the modeling tool work that's been done in ObjectStudio 8.2, and to do that let's load it. So we'll go to File, Load Application, and the way you normally load applications in ObjectStudio is through this interface, so we're going to scroll down here to the modeling tool and hit Load, and that'll just bring everything in. So there's the modeling tool right here in the launcher. This is the way things normally come in ObjectStudio, is you get things in here. To start this, you just double click and you'll get the modeling tool. So I'm going to say create a new model, and I'm going to call this, now I can just click on this once, get an in-place editor, and I'll call this person model, hit return, and now I can right click on it, new, submodel or class. I'm going to say class. I'm going to create a class called person, and now I want to give it some attributes. I'm going to go here again, new attribute, let's give it an ID, and we'll go new attribute, give it a phone number, and we'll give it another one, new attribute, and give it, say, an email address. Let's say name, that's simpler, so we'll say name. Now with that done, let's go ahead and add a method. So what I'm going to do is go new method, and let's add something simple, has email address. And what I can do is I can right click on that and I can hit open, and that'll allow me to edit the code for this right here. So I'll say email not nil. Maybe not the best implementation in the world, but sufficient for our purposes right now, so we'll do that. And now if I come up here to my model, now once I've got enough code that I want to put this into the system, I can go to the Tools menu and hit Synchronize Implementation, and what it'll do is it'll synchronize my model classes and my package over here into this, and I can give it a package name. So let's call this, let's just be simple and say person model, and for the namespace we'll leave this with ObjectStudio. We'll let it be defaulted, and we'll go ahead and synchronize that. And we hit continue, and now if we go ahead and push this aside for a moment and we go over here and browse class named person, we find it's there in the namespace ObjectStudio, and we've got our class here. So we'll go ahead and come over here. We see a bunch of code has been defined. Now interestingly enough, let's go here to has email address. Let's say I wanted to write a new method here in the browser, something like has phone, and I just want to replace this with phone not nil. Now I've added this in the browser, but if I come back to the modeling tool and I open this back up, if I scroll over here, pull down, you'll see that I have my method here. So it's synchronized. Any changes I make in the browser will appear in the modeling tool. Any changes I make in the modeling tool, they will appear over in the browser. So it's kind of a brief introduction to the way this works. We'll go into this in more depth over the next few days and weeks, but that gives you a notion of what's happening in ObjectStudio 8.2, and that the modeling tool, which worked in ObjectStudio 7, has been migrated up to ObjectStudio 8, so if you've been using this and happy with it, it's there. If you haven't been using it but wanted a tool like this, well, it's also there. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.